Again, the Republican mayor of Aurora, Colorado, Mike Kaufman, publicly offered to, quote, show Trump our community and meet with our police chief for a briefing, end quote. Of course, the former president did not take the mayor up on his offer because the truth is not important to Donald Trump. It never has been. Trump didn't travel to Aurora to see how immigration actually has or has not affected the community. He certainly had no intention of speaking with officials about what resources they may need to combat whatever problems they may be facing. Instead, believe it or not, Trump used his visit to turn up his dangerous anti-immigrant rhetoric another notch.
America is known all throughout the world as occupied America. They call it occupied. We're being occupied by a criminal force. I will rescue Aurora and every town that has been invaded and conquered. These towns have been conquered. Explain that to your governor. He doesn't have a clue. All the scum that we have to deal with that hate our country, that's a bigger enemy than China and Russia.
The scum that hate our country. This is how he talks about immigrants. These are the sort of lies and rhetoric that have instilled fear among migrant communities across the country because it makes them the target of violence. But Trump has shown even less regard than normal for how his self-serving lies might actually harm other people. That's certainly been the case over the past few weeks as he's continued to spread misinformation about hurricane relief efforts in states like North Carolina and Florida in order to score cheap political points. He's become even more blatant and unhinged, lying about many things that are provably false. He's recently shared misleading posts on his Truth Social account, suggesting that he's been endorsed by the likes of pop music superstar Taylor Swift and Jamie Dimon, the CEO of J.P. Morgan Chase. Taylor Swift, one of the most popular, well-known people on earth, has endorsed Harris. As of today, Dimon has not made any endorsement in this year's presidential race. Trump also claimed on Truth Social yesterday, quote, I think Obama will be voting for me because he doesn't like the fact that Kamala is an extremely low IQ person, end quote. How about I just don't waste your time or mine explaining that Barack Obama is not going to be voting for Donald Trump? That post also includes another one of Trump's lies, that the vice president was born, quote, mentally impaired. He's also tried to make a scandal out of how 60 Minutes edited its interview with Harris, an interview that he chose to skip, by the way, in part because the program refused to concede to his demand that they not fact-check him. He also insists that he's leading the presidential race by a lot. Another lie. On and on and on it goes. There is no end. There is no shame to any of this. It's no secret that Trump is a prolific liar, but the barrage of lies, the velocity of the lies that he's been spewing recently should be deeply concerning to every voter because it's a sign of how brazen and unrestrained and desperate that he has become as Election Day approaches, and how if he wins another White House term, it's only going to get worse. I'm joined now by the Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett of Texas. She's a member of the House Oversight and Accountability Committee. She's also a member of the House Agriculture Committee, and she's a national co-chair of the Harris-Walz campaign. Congresswoman, good to see you. Thank you for being with us this morning. Donald Trump recently appeared on the Flagrant podcast, and was a short clip that caught a lot of people's attention. Let's listen together.
I have a hard time doing it to them because I'm basically a truthful person, but and frankly, no, but frankly,
pretty bad when your interviewer breaks up because you said something so ridiculous. But I'm reminded of your alliterative speech at the DNC this summer in which you called Donald Trump a vindictive, vile villain. As scary as his rhetoric is, there's something ridiculous about him as a whole, and people need to cut him down to size and not continue to give him this power to just lie unchecked all the time.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I'm going to tell you something. I actually agree with something that you actually used in your intro, something that Trump said. He said that we've got these cities and these towns that are being overrun by gangs and the crime out of control. I absolutely agree with that. And guess what? It's the MAGA gang. It is the white supremacists that have decided to descend upon places such as Springfield, Ohio. So I agree with him. I just disagree with who the problems are. The problems are him and his minions. The problems aren't the people that have come to make our economy stronger, the people that have actually been able to help to continue to make sure that we got out of the big hole that he put us in after COVID-19 with his ineptness. Like, yeah, I agree that there are problems in our communities, but usually it's some white supremacists on the other side, and he has yet to call them out. As it relates to him being a liar, I mean, that's just what it is. The problem is that we have people that are absolutely listening to him. And that is the scary part. Even those people that are in need in North Carolina or Georgia or Tennessee or whatever state, Florida, that they're in need, they literally are harming themselves because he does not have the ability to tell the truth about what it takes to get help, and he thinks is going to help him in the campaign. And at the end of the day, you cannot say that you're a leader when you're absolutely seeking to harm people, and that's who he is.
So here's the problem. I was talking to Tom Nichols an hour ago. He's a Republican. He's a conservative. And he says, you know, in a normal argument, you're a lawyer and a legislator. So you know that when you make an argument with someone, you usually have facts on your side, and you try and debate them or you know, have them understand that they're not listening to you know, facts. This doesn't work with Donald Trump's folks because they're not looking for critical thinking on this, and that's part of the problem. How do you debunk it when he goes out into these cities and he says X is happening, and the mayor of Aurora, Colorado says that's just not true? What do you do?
You know, I really don't know, but I'm going to tell people that they need to vote. Go vote. We don't need this type of action. I mean, he decided to go into Detroit and talk noise to Detroit in Detroit. Like, Detroit, wake up. He does not like you. Make sure you go out and you show him who you are by showing up for the Walls Harris ticket. Listen, the fact that he's going to all of these democratically controlled states, these states that we know that he has no ability to win in, the only thing that I can say is that look at who is working for your vote. And that absolutely should be worth something. We are busting our butt until November 6th, trying to make sure that we talk to as many people as we can, trying to be as transparent about moving this country forward and why we don't want to go back and why this guy and his team and Project 2025 are so harmful, not just for Black folk, not just for Latino folk, not just for Muslims, not just for Asians, not just for Hispanics, for everybody. We have decided that we are going to make sure that we tell as much truth to as many people as will listen to it. And for the rest of the folk, the only thing that I can hope is that Donald Trump will be out of our way soon, and he will lose his final election, and we will be done with him running for president.
Okay, so you're talking about getting people out to vote. At this point, it's not that there can be a lot of people in America who are truly undecided. It's a matter of motivating people and moving people to get out and actually vote. There are some issues. There are some groups or portions of some groups that are still not feeling that motivation. Who's movable, and how do you move them?
Listen, I definitely think young people are the most movable group that we have. And when you look at the House, you know, we were supposed to have the red wave and we ended up with the red dribble. That was mostly because of young people. And so I think that they are the easiest ones to move because they absolutely want to see action on climate change. They want to see movement as it relates to guns in this country. They want to make sure that reproductive access is preserved. And to be perfectly honest, this is a group of folk that want to have that relief as it relates to the education educational burden that they are enduring right now with student loans. And there's only one team that even has conversations around these things. So yes, we know that the cost of housing is very expensive. We have heard this from young people really wanting to be able to buy new homes, but we know that we have a plan, not a concept of a plan, but we have a plan that would allow you to have $20,000 worth of down payment assistance if you want to move into that first time home. So I think that young people are really going to be the key. And so that's why you'll see me at any concert they'll let me on stage at. I am showing up where they are. I want to be on the college campuses because honestly, we should all be fighting for their future. Because when you look at people like me and you, Allie, unfortunately or fortunately, half of our life has already passed us by. We are fighting for the future of this country. We are fighting for an America that recognizes them, appreciates them, and will do what needs to be done so that they can prosper. And so that's why I think that they really are the key.
All right, Jasmine Crockett shows up on my campus. I'm definitely voting. Thank you for being with us again this morning. Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett of Texas, the national co-chair of the Harris-Walz campaign. All right, still ahead, post-Roe prosecutions. Hundreds of women across the country have been criminalized because of their pregnancies. It's yet another cruel consequence of indiscriminate abortion bans in America. We've got a newly unearthed report. Plus, how the stories we tell and the questions we ask or don't ask shape our realities. The best-selling author, Ta-Nehisi Coates, will join me to discuss his new book, The Message.
Looking for a way to stretch the dollar? With Insurify, you can cut your car insurance bill in half. Getting a deal on car insurance from Insurify is super easy, and all you need is a phone and a finger. Scroll through dozens of prices and tap to switch online. That's it. No phone calls and no wasted time. It's just like searching for a flight or hotel online. Enter your car information and Insurify does the rest. Go to Insurify and save today.
Check if you're overpaying for car insurance. Go to Insurify.com.
Target Circle Week is here, folks. Get ready for 7 days of big deals. 40% off.
Oh, he is cleaning up the savings.
30% off? Yes, please.
Well, there you have it. 7 days of big deals.
The biggest savings event of the year continues this holiday weekend at More Furniture. Join us as we celebrate with unbelievable discounts on fall arrivals for every room in your home. Visit your local showroom and get our very best offer when you pay no money down, subtract the tax, and pay absolutely no interest until January 2026. You'll also get free white glove delivery, and we'll remove and donate your gently used pieces locally. Hurry into your local showroom today for the best selection.
The Oracle Jet sets the new standard in automation, performance and speed. Powered by the Thermojet heating system, it's ready in seconds. Select from cafe favorites, including refreshing new cold coffees, auto grind, dose and tamp for a well-balanced extraction, and automatically texture milk for silky smooth microfoam. It's the benchmark redefined from Breville.
Not you again. I can't talk to a doctor about this. It's embarrassing. ZocDoc? You're right. I bet they deal with this all the time. What about Dr. Anderson? Okay. Dr. Finley really puts you at ease. And she takes my insurance too. Let's do it.
You've got more options than you know. Book now.
I'm gonna miss you too.